What is up, YouTube? It's been a while since I've made a video, and I'm just gonna be honest, guys. I need a filming style that is pretty low effort. Like, I love YouTube. If we're talking about straight passion, I absolutely love YouTube. However, as we all do, I got bills to pay, man, and also I'm actively trying to build a quality life for myself in the future. So I can't just be doing, I guess you could say, passion projects, right? Like, all this stuff has got to kind of make sense if it's going to take up like some time. And that's just not where I'm at with YouTube. And I also don't really care if I get there too much. Like, I have a great 9 to 5. I have a pool business that's taking up a lot of my time. So it's like, YouTube is here to document the journey, and this is not like a way that I'm like banking on making income, but I truly love it, and I do need some low effort videos. So I figured, while I'm driving somewhere anyway, why don't I just record my drive and talk? So that's what these are. Hopefully you guys do enjoy them. I'm just going to be giving some knowledge that I think is pretty good general advice, as well as like what I'm up to, what am I doing. The first thing I did want to talk about is, if you are a young man in your 20s, how are you navigating it and how to navigate it, right? So this is all stuff that I'm trying to apply to myself. I'm 23 right now, and I don't have, these crazy advantages, handouts, any of that stuff. I was never really like dirt broke. However, like, I've had to work for my shit, man. I've had to work for my stuff, and I would not have it any other way, because it's going to make it all worth getting, and it's going to make the story that much better when we actually get there, guys. So the first thing I want to explain is what I believe is the two most important and key factors that really everything boils down to when it comes to how to navigate your 20s. And I'm speaking strictly financially. However, all the micro habits come out to, I guess, bleed onto these two. So the first one is increasing your income. Increasing your income is ultra important, because if you're making $15 an hour or you're making $40 an hour, that's basically like time and a half within the same time frame, if that breakdown makes sense. So like, for me, I have a great 9 to 5. I made $95,000 last year, and that is before taxes, but that is also tip based, so it will fluctuate a little bit. However, I've learned to manage my money pretty good with like roughly what it's gonna come out to, and it all works itself out. So I made 95 last year, and then I have a pool route that is currently making me, on the low end, $1,500 a month, but on the higher end, $2,000 a month. And that is all just extra gravy for investing right now. I'm really trying to build up this pool route and get as many clients as I can, because that extra monthly payment is all 100% investing. Like, my 9 to 5, I'm grateful that it's able to cover all my bills and some. And so really just trying to build up to like a high savings rate. And that brings me into my second point, guys, which is get your cost of living as low as you can make it without being ultimately miserable, because you still want to have a fantastic life and you still want to be able to do things, but you don't want to just be working to spend all your money and just get to next week. Like, you have to be building up. So those two kind of go hand in hand. You have where your income's at, right? You have where your income's at. Let's start up here. And then you have your living expenses. And you want to try to keep this gap right here as big as possible, because that gap is what's going to be able to snowball into freedom through investing in things. And I'll give you my personal investment thesis. I know everybody that does these like sort of financial talks on YouTube, they all have different avenues. Some people, it's like, just S&P, just ETFs, just, this and that, dabble with a little bit of that. Me personally, guys, I have my two tax advantage accounts, which is my 401k, my Roth IRA. I try my best to max both of those out, and the 401k can get maxed out at $23,500 a year, I believe. and the Roth IRA is $7,000. Now, each of those have their different tax advantages. And if you're in the United States, I don't know where you're watching this from, but look into what every country has, because unless, I want to say there's one out there for every country. I mean, I don't know. I have literally no idea. Maybe some countries there's not. But, it's just like you have your tax advantage accounts. Hold on, I'm going to make a U-turn because this sunlight is not looking too hot for us guys. And then all my extra income, I personally, and do your own research and find what sort of investment vehicle you like, but I personally invest it all into Bitcoin. So that's my general thesis, right? Is like, make as much money as you can and keep your living expenses low. That gap, I put it into 3 buckets: my 2 retirement accounts and Bitcoin. Not any other crypto, just Bitcoin. I don't believe that they're in the same bucket. They are totally different. And that's when I'm talking about Bitcoin and crypto. That's my, I guess, financial stance on investing. Now, I will say, when we get into those micro habits, some things just to entirely avoid and also strive for. Number 1 is going to be staying away from low quality people, men and women. You don't want to be having people that always, to have fun, they have to go out, they have to do something, they have to spend money. Bro, the best things in life are free. If you have that group of boys that you can just go out and you toss the football with in the backyard, you play some video games, you chill out. If you're gonna, go out and get some drinks, like, just buy some from the store and have like a chill night with the boys, like at the crib or at the apartment. Like, you don't have to be going out to bars. It's the biggest waste of money ever. Especially don't be going out to do a lot of that nightlife stuff, man. It's just deteriorating and it weighs down on you in just more ways than just financially. Like, it drains you, bro. It drains you. It's absolutely terrible for you. So stay away from that stuff. Things that I'm doing, I'm actively trying to get better about, man. It's like, just stop. If you're watching these videos, and I get it, like, a lot of you guys are busy like myself, but you're also a little bit like, you want to, you're trying to do the best you can, right? This is where I'm at. I'm trying to do the best that I can, and none of us exactly know what to do, because we're not set up for a path that's just like, oh, like, this is gonna have a high payoff reward guaranteed. Like, everybody's fed the same general rule book to be an average Joe. And if you're watching this channel, you do not want to be an average Joe. You don't just want to go get a 4-year degree, be 50 grand in debt, and be a debt slave to the whole system for the rest of your life, and lifestyle inflation and man, the whole system. I'm going to get into this, why the whole system is designed against you, in another video. But at least right now, man, those are my general things. And stay away from all the bad habits, like especially that nightlife and all, because all the stuff goes with it. You start drinking, you're paying for overpriced drinks, it bleeds into the next day. You start smoking, that's brain fog, and that's into the next day, or that's into at least that night. Nothing beats a good night's sleep, bro. I am telling you, if they had a price on that, I would pay it, because a good night's sleep will do wonders for you. And you just want to be stacking all these things that compound. Make sure you're hitting the gym. Don't be like overweight at all. In my opinion, I believe that's completely unacceptable as a young 20-year-old, that, especially one that's trying to get after it. Okay, you eat fast food here and there because, you're on the go and whatnot. I get it. You're busy, but dude, if you're like overweight, you need to get a gym membership. You need to start hitting the gym and eating healthy. And like, if you're trying to be that dialed in with your finances, I promise you will go hand in hand with your health. Like, you cannot be slacking. A lot of them go hand in hand. If you are dialed in with your health, you have more energy, you're more sharp mentally, and you're just going to be able to get so much more done and ultimately make more money. You're making better decisions because your head's clearer. You're also stronger as a person, as an individual. And so you have more of a willingness to stay in your lane, like to keep your head down, to not be feeling like you have to get dragged into these situations. You don't have no FOMO or anything like that, where it's like, oh, all the boys are going out, like I better go out. You can just be like, nah, sorry guys, like I'm taking this weekend off, you know. And by no means am I saying don't go out and have any fun, but man, you're trying to get into a different tier of living. Like, do not, if you're doing the same crap as everybody else, you're going to end up where everybody else is at. So if your friends are those sort of people, man, just don't, I'm not going to say don't keep hanging out with them, but like, also you got to really be thinking long term. Like, do these people offer any sort of like substance? It's kind of selfish, but you're the only one that has to actually wake up and care about your life. And nobody else is going to wake up and say, you know what, I really care about Spencer Johnson's life. Not even your parents will do that for you. And like, they'll, you know, granted, I don't know what situation you're in, but my parents, you know, they'd be there and they definitely help me out. But they would just be like, hey, you know, like, if you're just going to be a bum in our basement all day, then that's literally all you're going to be. We're not going to wake up and go to work for you or go on these extra things to be locked in for you. It's hard enough to do it for one person. I mean, that's what we're all trying to do right now for ourselves, and that's hard enough. So they're not going to do it for another person. And they've already been working their whole life, bro. Like, you got to be the guy. So that's my mindset of how I'm navigating my 20s. I mean, actively trying to build and get it better every single day. But these videos, man, I'm really excited because, you know, I will be posting as regular as I can, like just trying to, you know, be on YouTube, because I love this crap, man. I love this crap, and I want to share exactly what's going on. Like, be talking about the market, be talking about investments, be talking about what's going on in my pool business, be talking about how much money, you know, I made the last month and what my investing rate was, like all that stuff. And unfortunately just didn't have the time to really edit through a lot on YouTube, but these are pretty free flowing, like just recording as I go, and then I get back and it takes me 20 minutes to upload. So yeah, I will be seeing you guys very soon. I'm gonna try to make these like every other day. If you did enjoy the video, leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace.